another push by the Joe Biden administration at restricting your right to keep and bear arms. Just when you thought you've seen or heard it all, they're going at it another way. Sit by and watch this episode of Guns and Gadgets if you want to learn more. Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, the premier source for Second Amendment news. It's Monday. Monday Morning Grind is brought to us by Blackout Coffee. Check them out. Lots of great coffee and teas. And in addition, we have released a bunch of our new hot chocolate flavors under the Cocoa Sips moniker. Check them out. Links will be down below. Fall time's coming. If you like sweater weather, you're going to want to check out our hot chocolates. Thank you to Blackout Coffee, blackoutcoffee.com/G&G. Let's get into this news here that happened on Friday. The person you see on screen right now, his name is Joshua Geltzer, Geltzer. And he is a special assistant to President Biden, and he's also the Deputy Homeland Security Advisor at the National Security Council, which operates out of the White House. Now, Geltzer will oversee the National Security Council's review of policy to determine whether the government can better share information or to take other steps to mitigate the threat of domestic violent extremism. Now, right away, that should set off alarms. And yes, you are correct. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about him, what he did before coming to this role, and then we'll talk to you about what he has said about your right to keep and bear arms. So, Professor Geltzer served as the executive director of the Institute for Constitutional Advocacy and Protection at Georgetown Law. He previously held a position of Senior Director for Counterterrorism, and he was a Deputy Legal Advisor at the National Security Council, and as a counsel to the Assistant Attorney General for National Security at the U.S. Department of Justice. So yeah, a lot, all right, big titles. Now, Geltzer just did an interview with Politico that they put out on Friday, and this is what he said. You can see it starts off, it says, polarization, misinformation, bigotry, and racism, all words they're going to throw out to try to take people off of the scent of the trail, all fuel the growing threat of domestic extremism in the United States. But a top White House official says there's one more key component complicating the administration's efforts to thwart attacks: guns. Easy access to firearms, especially certain types of firearms, can make acts of domestic terrorism more feasible to undertake and more lethal once they happen. That's according to Joshua Geltzer, the Deputy Homeland Security Advisor at the NSC. He told this to NatSec Daily in his first on-the-record interview since assuming that position this month. As this administration works, he continued, to address some of the challenges associated with the widespread availability of firearms in this country, we are doing so with the knowledge that it is a priority in and of itself, as well as one that relates to the stepped-up efforts that we are undertaking to address domestic terrorists. Geltzer has piloted the first-ever national strategy for countering domestic terrorism, bringing together experts from across the government, those aren't experts, to understand the threat and plan for it. One aspect of the strategy includes reducing access to assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, and enforcing legal prohibitions that keep firearms out of dangerous hands. Asked if gun reforms were imperative to stopping domestic terrorism, Geltzer replied, "I think tackling things that feed into the domestic terrorism challenge is an imperative, and there are a lot of things that feed into it. Easy access to certain types of firearms feeds into it. But so does, for example, polarization fueled by disinformation. That can make recruitment into domestic terrorism causes easier and more likely." So, what is he telling you? He's telling you, if you read the speak and understand the speak, he's telling you that Biden is pushing for another assault weapon ban and a magazine ban and a national red flag bill. That's what that all is. They're saying that because you have an AR-15 and because you have a 30-round magazine that came standard with that firearm, that you are a higher chance of being a domestic terrorist or feeding into it. It's funny how this is an issue now, and it's not really an issue. It's not. If you look at crime and you know how to decipher numbers and stuff, it's not a big issue. Although any act of terrorism, period, is horrible and should be dealt with. But legitimate terrorism, not just made up for our narrative. But this wasn't an issue while their friends were burning down cities. When their terrorist groups insert their name here, were burning down cities and attacking people and killing them because of what they were wearing, what the hat they had, thoughts or beliefs that they held near and dear to their heart, stuff like that. It wasn't a problem when there were cities burning. But when they need to push through this agenda that's going to lead towards socialism and disarm the populace, or try to disarm the populace, you never will, that's a problem now. I needed you all to see this. This is a multifaceted approach. This is a multifaceted attack. And it's not just, hey, go over there and make a comment on this ATF stuff. Awesome shirt, by the way, from Firearms Policy Coalition, which you should be doing if you haven't done those comments. Go in there and make your stance heard. I'll have links down below for both the frame and receiver, as well as the stabilizing brace issue, as well as a link to figure out who your elected officials are. You should be, hopefully you've had enough. Hopefully you're starting to wake up and see what's going on. This is all an attempt to disarm the populace for a reason, guys and gals, and they'll think of any excuse to do it. Misinformation. Like this whole administration is a misinformation, but they're going to say it's you all, the people who love your right to keep and bear arms, your right to protect yourself. And they are freaking out because of these cases that are going to the Supreme Court. I know a lot of people say we can't trust the Supreme Court, and I 100% agree with you. I don't trust anything to one facet of government or any facet of government. But when I told you last week on the video that the anti-gunners are freaking out about this case that is going to be coming down with the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association case, I wasn't lying. And this is another facet of it. They're going to try to come around and do another assault weapon ban and a magazine ban. And they know they can't get it through right now because we have the filibuster and Joe Manchin standing tall. But the word lately is Joe Manchin is wavering, and he is up for at least the discussion of reforming the filibuster. And if that happens, then this stuff will go through. Now, we do have the elections, the midterms coming through, but I just don't trust politicians. And there are a couple good ones, but all in all, they're politicians. So I needed you guys to know that this was happening, to see another facet of the attack that's going on. And they're going to call you all, domestic terrorists if you like the right to keep and bear arms. Well, we need to take these guns away to keep everybody safe. And in my video I did on Saturday, it's time for you to decide whether you value liberty, true individual liberty, or you want to be safe from, by big daddy government. Because you can't have both. You're either free and you control your own safety, or it's socialism. That's it. So I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts down below. Thank you to everybody who reached out. Yesterday was my birthday. 46 years old. Ugh. Thank you to everybody who reached out. Check out Blackout Coffee. It does help support this channel greatly. And if you're into hot chocolate, we got some pretty good ones out there now. Links will be down below. Thank you so much for your time, guys and gals. Till we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a weapon. Have a great one. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.